So digestion in human beings. So in human beings we have a complex digestive system because we take many different varieties of foods. Okay, so that should be digested and identified and observed by the complex digestive system which is present inside. It is a elementary tube-like structure which is present in our body. A long tube-like structure is present and the total gut is called alimentary canal. So we start the chewing food in the mouth. We take the food inside the mouth and we chew with the help of the teeth, and the tongue will help in the moving the food to the left and right and make it to mix with the saliva which is present in our mouth. The salivary glands which are present in the mouth will secrete the saliva, the liquid portion. So here, because of saliva, the partial digestion of food carbohydrates will be started in the mouth itself. Here some carbohydrates will be digested with the help of enzyme called salivary amylase. So the food which is slippery, that will go into the next part, that is esophagus, and the food which is swallowed is called the bolus. That is very slippery and it will be very soft and it will be formed in the form of ball. So that slippery ball is called the bolus. So we have the chewing part helping in the better digestion. So next, going into the next part, we should swallow the food in a well chewed manner. So you know the different teeth help in the mouth, and the tongue and the salivary glands which are present in our mouth help in the breaking down the complex food molecules into the simple food molecules mechanically. And the saliva has an enzyme called salivary amylase which is helping in the partial digestion of the carbohydrates. So we have three pairs of salivary glands present in our mouth which is secreting the saliva into the mouth, and the see here the food will be moved into the next part, that is the esophagus. In the there will be a common passage called pharynx. Here there will be a the epiglottis which is present in between the two pipes. So next is how the food will be moved into the stomach through the esophagus by a specialized movement called the peristalsis movement. So wave-like movements will help the food to move into the next part from esophagus to the stomach. So stomach has gastric juice produced, and the HCl is present in the lining of the stomach will produce this gastric juice and HCl. The food will enter into this part and it will help, HCl will make the medium acidic, and here the enzyme called pepsin is the enzyme which helps in the digestion of the proteins which are present in our food. So gastric juice and HCl makes the medium acidic. This is required for the action of pepsin which converts proteins into the peptones. So peptones will be formed here from the proteins. So pepsin is the enzyme which helps the proteins to break down. So churning of food in stomach. So here after the complete mixing of the food, the muscles which are present in the stomach help in the mixing of the food, and it will make a some slimy mixture that is called chyme. Okay, the food now it is called chyme, and it will release into the next part by the sphincter in a small parts. So it will enter into the next part, that is the small intestine. Small intestine first part is called the duodenum. In the duodenum part, pancreas, liver and the gallbladder will release the enzymes which are secreted from the glands to this small intestine. So pancreas will secrete pancreatic juices, and some intestines will secrete the intestinal juices, and bile is also secreted into this small intestine. So the digestion in stomach is acidic medium. It will maintain, and digestion in the small intestines will maintain the alkaline medium. So the pancreatic amylase which is present will help in the complete digestion of carbohydrates, and big fat globules should be emulsified means broken down into small fat droplets which can be further breakdown by the enzyme lipase. So the process is called emulsification. The breakdown of big fats into small fats is called the emulsification process. So where the bile juice is coming, so the bile juice is coming from the liver and it will break down the fats into small fats. These globules will be acted by the enzyme lipase by the pancreatic juice. So that will be helping in the digestion of the fats. So the process is called emulsification here with the help of bile. Bile doesn't have any enzymes. Okay, so next pancreas is secreting pancreatic juice into the duodenum. So pancreatic juice helps in the digestion of the carbohydrates and proteins. So trypsin is the enzyme which helps in the protein digestion and lipase is the enzyme which helps in the fats digestion and pancreatic amylase is the enzyme which helps in the carbohydrate digestion. So most of the proteins and macronutrients will be digested here. So intestinal lining also secretes some juice that is called the intestinal juice and they have the enzymes which will complete the digestion of the food. So next is the digestion of carbohydrates. So we have seen carbohydrate digestion is partially done in the mouth and it is completely digested in our small intestine. It will not digest, the stomach will not digest any carbohydrates in its part. How the nutrients reach different body parts after digestion. So after digestion is completed, the nutrients should be reached to the all different parts in our body. This is done by the blood. So blood will carry the nutrients into the all body parts, but from the small intestine, the small intestine have many finger-like projections. These projections are called villi. They are supplied with many blood capillaries and lymph vessels. So these blood capillaries and lymph vessels will absorb all the nutrients into the bloodstream. The villi will absorb all the nutrients into the bloodstream. When you see there are many folds in the small intestine lining because to observe, see the surface area of the villi is very much increased because of the villi. So villi are having many folds. See here many finger-like projections are there which is giving more surface area for the absorption of more nutrients here. So what is the longitudinal section through a villus? See, we will see the cross section of the villus. It is having a blood capillary which absorbs the glucose and amino acids and a lacteal, and this is the lymph vessel. So which absorbs fatty acids and glycerol, and it is covered with some thin lining epithelium. So here blood vessels and lymph vessels absorbs the nutrients and it will supply to the all body parts through the bloodstream. So this is about the villi. So villi are the important finger-like projections which are present. So blood is carrying the nutrients to all the parts. The waste material, the undigested food will be transported to the large intestine. In the large intestine, all the water molecules which are present will be absorbed. So absorption of water will be happened in the large intestine. So after that, the feces will be produced in the large intestine and it will be stored for some time in the part of rectum. So in the large intestine, the rectum part stores it for some time and it will eject it from the body through the anus, which is the last part of the digestive system.